The reason that the humankind will die is not because of nature, it is because of the human fabricated disaster itself. A splendid morning to everyone. My name is Avinaveshwar
and I'm Kaushal Abadi,
and we are from Johnson Grammar School, here to give a solution for climate change for UN. Nowadays, the major reasons for the death of millions is no natural disaster. It is no volcanic eruption, nor is it a meteoroid. It is because of the human fabricated disaster, global climate change. Now, what is climate change? Well, climate change is a change in the temperature of our Earth's atmosphere and simultaneously causing global warming, and it's because of the uncivilized and unfar-sighted activities of the human being itself. So, what is happening due to the climate change? Well, since the Industrial Revolution in 1850, the Earth's temperature has globally increased by 1.1%. 1.1 degrees centigrade is a small temperature according to you, but globally it can cause many changes. Even the extinction of millions of species can be caused by just a 1.1 degree centigrade. Polar bears, dodos were extinct because of this single reason. Now, not only that, the reason of the global climate change is causing about 8 islands in the Pacific Ocean to be flown away. Every year, about 37.12 billion metric tons of CO2, methane, and other harmful gases such as sulfates, nitrates are released into the Earth's atmosphere. It causes acid rain whenever it meets with the water inside the atmosphere, causing H2SO4 and H2SO3, which fall down, causing disaster to the plants, farms, the food we eat. And every year, about 2 million tons of effluents as sewage water is being flown into the streams. About 300 to 400 megatons of factory waste is being thrown into water. Water pollution, air pollution are the major reasons for climate change. Now, we have more about water pollution.
Nowadays, a big threat to mankind is nothing but a war between us and the environment. For that war, there are two main reasons. One's air pollution. Now we saw the adverse effects of air pollution. Now, water pollution. Now, many people think that water pollution, how can this contribute to globally climate change? But my friends, water pollution plays an essential role in climate change. See, water, only 30% of Earth's crust contains fresh water, and that's being contaminated due to factories. Now, when this chemical wastage is mixed with the river water, streams and everything, they form some very dangerous compounds and also release methane and CO2 into the atmosphere. Now, that's quite fascinating. Now, you may think, how can water release gases? Now, my friends, this has been proved by the University of Lynchburg that sediments and bacteria of water can even release methane and CO2 into the atmosphere. No, not only that. Before, our ancestors used to directly drink water from the rivers. Nowadays, we are even afraid to touch that water. Now, what's the reason to this? The main reason is the chemical wastage from the factories. Before, many people have done nothing but just waiting for the chemical waste to mix into the river. Now, our generation is suffering the loss due to this. Now, first, for this, we the students have made a preventive technique. For that, first, the chemical wastage should not be directly dumped into the river, but should be sent into a chamber. Now, the chemical wastage, when sent into a chamber, gets purified due to a simple technique. That technique, many people have learned in 8th or 7th classes. Now you forgot it. Now let me remind you. It's the simple evaporation and distillation process. Now in the evaporation, you may think that, okay, it's large scale. How can you perform it? Now our country, our India, is spending some billions of dollars on stadiums and all those things. Now why can't it spend on something which is useful for our future generations? Now also not all that. Now we can see that many people in the rural areas are living without electricity. Now, if they have a water treatment power plant near them, that can just light up their lives. See, my friends, there are two main things in this world which we need to survive. One's air and water. Now, if water is polluted, where can you go? So, we are requesting the UN to please give us a chance and implement this technique and purify the whole world's water. And after this, now if you don't purify it, only the water pollution. Don't think only that's the only reason. Now see, then this water goes into agricultural farms and fields. Now the rice grows nicely over there. But when produced, we get broken grains. And those broken grains, when cooked, gives you a stale smell, which you can't eat it. And also they don't have enough prices, due to which farmers are just killing themselves. No, my friends, now this is the right time to stop it, or else there won't be a single drop for our future generations to drink. Now also, we also have an preventive technique for air pollution.
Well, as I said before, every year 37.12 billion metric tons of CO2, methane, nitrates and sulfates are released into atmosphere from the chimneys of factories. About 22% of the entire air is polluted due to the factories itself, and it's because of the chimney wastes. But now we have a catch over here. We can implement a single solution which will be implemented by the UN if taken into care. That is, now you may be thinking, this is just a fan, but it is no normal fan. I'm sure you heard scientists found gold inside dustbins. Well, but it's not exactly gold. That is graphene. Now you must have heard this term somewhere in your newspapers or your school magazines. But what is graphene? Graphene is a compound which has high affinity to some other compounds whenever turned into a mesh-like structure. So whenever this is going to pull down the gases like an exhaust port inside your washrooms or other areas, then that is going to pull down these entire gases from the chimneys into the graphene filters, which you can see here. So these graphene filters are going to purify these gases and convert them into pure energy, which will run the fan itself. Now you may be seeing this fan. It can run with the same compounds that will increase the energy levels by an output of 50%. And this is not just fans. Solar powers can be implemented everywhere because silicon cells play an important role in giving electricity and lighting up the lives of millions. So my dear friends, if something could be implemented, that is to be done now. And this is the first generation to be facing the climate change and the last generation that can do something.
And also, now we are requesting the UN to please give us a chance and also implement this idea.
This idea can change the lives of millions, but one needs to be caring of it. So my dear friends, we thank you all for listening to the new innovative idea that can be the future of tomorrow into the today. Because the tomorrow's land is today. Thank you.